Hello, my beautiful fragrance family. Dustin here, fragrance fan. Go ahead and do me a solid and click that like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification. And I'm just going to keep on bringing you guys these budget-friendly fragrance reviews. That $40-ish and $100 range. Most of these are way less than that. And a good number of these you can find at your local rack stores. And I got 5 fragrances for you guys here today that you are probably going to find in the women's section. Always start with the women's section first. So let's go into these 5 fragrances and see if they are right for you. So the first fragrance I want to talk about is one from the House of Privé. When I saw it in the women's section, even though it's a pink bottle and it looks feminine as can be, it was in the women's section. I saw the name, and that's what led me to pick it up. Regardless what the bottle looks like and where it's put at, if you see Emperor, Privé, Milestone, Murata, pick that thing up. It could very well be a unisex fragrance. And case in point with this one, Privé Magenta, the Armani Tanzanite Magenta clone. This one right here opens up with a touch of crispy bergamot and ginger. So quickly into the fragrance, it starts to take on this roasted coffee, tobacco, cinnamon feel. The cinnamon is there from the beginning. You can tell it's a cinnamon-driven fragrance, but quickly that roasted coffee starts to come out, being paired up with that tobacco and a bit of a sweet vanilla combination. Warm, inviting, gorgeous. At first the performance wasn't too good. I haven't wore it in a while. It's had full time to mature now. I can tell you the difference in the scent profile is the fact that the crispiness from the opening with the bergamot and stuff is more alive. And that wasn't the case at the beginning. It was just like cinnamon and stuff, which was nice. But it's like the citrus started to, it was working out in there or something like that while I was leaving it alone. It got stronger, so it's popping out now. And I'm sure that the performance is amped up a little bit, but I can tell you the projection is about the same, and it didn't disappoint. It was like on the lower side of average, but for what I got this thing, $15. Just go ahead and smell it if you see it. Apparently there's the other colors too. I haven't seen them, just this one, and I keep seeing this one, but check it out if you haven't already. Up next is another fragrance that is no stranger to this channel. I've featured it on several of my videos, and yeah, I'm going to feature it again. Sand & Fog Pistachio Dream. And I'm going to feature it because a lot of these Sand & Fogs are trying to, they're kind of a clone house. And this is replicating Kylie's Yum Pistachio, and they do a fantastic job at it. The only difference between this and that is Kylie has a little bit of like a squirt of bergamot. This doesn't have any of that, but other than that, being a very nutty vanilla, like fluffy whipped cream, ice cream, sugar, marshmallow type of a deal with a whole lot of like almond and pistachio. Roller too, by the way. And a load of vanilla. That's what this is. It's a nutty vanilla ice cream, whipped cream, marshmallow. It sounds very feminine, and it does have a feminine edge, but a man can wear this. It's probably 30-70, 30% masculine, 70% feminine. I just got it because I thought it smelled fantastic. So if you see this one, $15, and the performance is not bad at all. A lot of times these roller balls don't project, or they last a little bit of time, but they don't really project all that good. This one projected decent. When I first rolled it on my hand, I remember I just could keep smelling that thing pumping off me. So yeah, Pistachio Dream. And the quality on these ones, some of them are amazingly good, and this one's no stranger to that. Up next is a fragrance. When I first smelled it, I'll admit I wasn't actually the biggest fan of it. I liked it just enough to get it. And one of the main reasons that I got it is because a lot of people were talking about it. I was kind of new into reviewing. I was trying to get things that people were talking about and clicking on and stuff like that. And It smelled a lot like the original, and that's Red Cherry by Milestone. Obviously a Lost Cherry clone. I will admit I do like it better now. A lot better now. It's one that I would borderline start wearing. I mean, I have wore it a few times. Look at the dent. I have wore this thing. There's like no denying I have. It's a cherry bomb. It has all the cherry qualities that the Tom Ford does. It's obviously not quite as smooth, but the Tom Ford isn't all that smooth either, because that cherry liqueur and that like spiciness, the clove and the cherry liqueur is like, boom. It's kind of like sour and sharp and tart and abrasive right up in your face. And this does that as well. It also kind of has a hint of a tobacco smell. There's no tobacco in here, but tonka can sometimes give a small edge of a tobacco accord, just a little bit. It's like, I notice it in most of the tonka bean style fragrances, and this one has a little bit of that. Along with that, when this thing dries down, that's where it starts to become not just tolerable. When I didn't even like this that much, I was like, okay, it's starting to smell good. I really like it. It's creamy vanilla, a very pleasant, inviting creamy vanilla. Still holding on to all that cherry, but it's not the sharpness. It gets rid of that cherry liqueur, holding on to some of the spice, and just becomes a creamy vanilla cherry and a bit of a woody edge too. I think in the original there's some kind of balsamic thing, and I mean, that might be in here, but it's not like a main thing. Also, there's a bit of a nuttiness. There's a nutty thing going on. I forgot to say that. Now that I smell it, there's a nutty thing. So yeah, it's very close to the original. And if you like cherry, this is up there for you right here. And the performance is pretty darn good on this one. Up next is one that you like pretty much always see in the women's section, but I've seen these in the men's section too. But more often than not, they're in the women's section because they got the tube. They're kind of shaped in like a Perry Ellis type bottle, but with a regular top. And that's the Mimic brand. I want to talk about number 43. And it says it's a compound blend, compound 43, a blend of smoky vanilla wood. And what's happening in this one is a very peppery tobacco vanilla woody fragrance. Simple yet pleasant. Very similar to Tom Ford's Tobacco Touch, or Tobacco Vanilla, I should say. I got Mason Alhambra's Tobacco Touch, which is doing a good job at doing Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanilla. And this is doing that same thing, but this is more peppery. Very peppery tobacco. Yeah, it's a spicy, peppery tobacco. Woody, very woody, touches of smoke, cinnamon. Real nice, kind of Christmassy in a way. It's on the drier side of things. It's not all that sweet, but it does have a sweetness. This is more on that spicy, woody, smoky side with a touch of sweetness, whereas the ones that I've just mentioned were more on the sweet side of things. So if you like Tobacco Vanilla by Tom Ford and you're looking for a budget version of that with a little bit more of a peppery take, this one might do good for you. And the performances, it's okay on this one. Up next is a fragrance that I saw, and I was convinced that it was supposed to be a woman's fragrance because the bottle, I never seen any reviews on it. I saw it all the time, but I really liked the way that it smelled, but I just never got it. It was loud. I sprayed it on my skin and it did good, which is what I always recommend. Spray the thing on your skin because it can change. Shop for at least 20 minutes or something, then make your decision. Don't buy off the opening because some fragrances morph like crazy. Some of these are linear, and it can change your mind whether to get it, push you over the edge to get it, or reel you back to not purchase it because it all of a sudden turned into some dry cardboard funk or something like that. So, little side rant, just let it linger on your skin for a bit. So the fragrance that I want to talk about, the one that I just finally ended up breaking down and buying, and after I bought it, I did see a review on it, found out it's cloning Carolina Herrera's Nightfall Patchouli, and this is Oxana Patchouli by Araman. And what it is cinnamon patchouli, creamy, earthy, woody, and sweet. Very, very cinnamon patchouli heavy. There's a little bit of benzoin in here, strong dose of that creaminess. Man, and this thing has a great atomizer. It has great performance, great projection, decent sillage. Amazing price. This one's a no-brainer for me, but you have to like patchouli. Some people don't like patchouli. Over the years, I found out that patchouli is something I like. Taxco, you know, like the tuxedos and stuff like that, they got a massive dose of patchouli. I really like it. This one has about that much patchouli, but it goes in a completely different direction. It's creamy like those, but this is that cinnamon, spicy, and it's more simple. Good performance, good smelling, ultra cheap. I just had to get it. And I think other people that found this, I think they really dig it too. So agree with me or not, I think I had to make this list. So that's 5 fragrances that more than likely you're going to find in the women's section, and they are unisex, and some of them just work really good. So yeah, with that, I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself always, and until next time.